What's up, everybody? Patrick from wpbuilderhelper, and in today's video we're going to be going over some changes that have happened over the last couple months, and it's some things I wanted to talk about page builders specifically and what they're doing and where they're going. So let's talk about that and let's see what we think's going to happen. All right, so let's get started. So here we are with one of the bigger probably announcements of this year, and that would be Elementor. Elementor has come out with their own cloud version, and once again, yay for them having board members now and taking that VC funding, because now they're copying Brizzy. They've basically come out with a version of cloud, which, I mean, I guess to some extent it's impressive. Because there's some things that it does that I think's pretty cool, but for the most part, it's Elementor, and you're paying for one website $99 a year. For the average customer, this is great, but once again, I feel like Elementor just doesn't know anymore what it is. Like, it's going in every single direction trying to get as much money as it possibly can, and it's doing it all at one time. And it's going to start failing at some point in time. It's not going to last forever. This kind of cash grab mentality, people see right through this BS and they start going, no, I'm not interested anymore. And that's what I think this is. The pricing for one is just, I don't know, $99 for a license, I guess, is all right. I mean, it's interesting. It's interesting the fact that it's still WordPress, but it's like one website. I mean, I don't know. The whole entire thing is interesting. I guess it's a hassle-free experience because it's hosted by them, which to me, I hate that thing. I hate that about Webflow. I hate that about Brizzy kind of did it a little bit, and now we've got this with Elementor. Personally, if I'm going to pick a cloud solution, I want to be able to move that cloud to wherever I want to. There are many different providers that are out there, and we kind of saw this with Brizzy earlier in the year, and I'm going to talk about that when we get to the Brizzy portion. But when Brizzy came out with their cloud experience, they kind of cut off the fact that you could even save it as static files and move it to other vendors, essentially, and people went nuts. This is the same thing. I'm sorry. When you lock me into a cloud provider, I hate that, because that's the same reason that I don't like Webflow. That's the same reason I don't like this. You're locking me into one provider. And if that provider sucks, it sucks. The one thing that I give Brizzy over this is the fact that Brizzy gives you unlimited websites. They give you unlimited pop-ups. They give you unlimited all of this. This is for $99 and you're getting one freaking website out of it. I don't like Elementor that much. If Oxygen did this, it would be interesting, but I still would like to see the ability to take and move that somewhere else. So for me, this was just something that just kind of happened. I know a lot of people have been talking about it, and I know that I'm late on this, but I had to think about it for a while, because when I saw it was coming out, I was like, okay, this is an exact copy of Brizzy, but you're charging more money for it. Not an original idea, not original at all. Even Cadence had a better idea when it came to this kind of stuff. So this for me is a big, unless you're like someone that is basically tired of Squarespace or something like that, and then I guess it's cool because it's Elementor and it's easy to use, and that's great, but it's so limiting. I hate the fact that it's so limiting. Next on the list is the Oxygen beta. I have actually looked at this and kind of played with it. I had put some stuff on my channel. It's interesting. It's an interesting improvement, but I'm not getting the warm and fuzzies over it. There doesn't appear to be anything else that has come out just recently. I think they're still on the beta for it, which is pretty good, which means that Oxygen 4.0 is coming out, and they have solved some of the issues. I know one of the things that I was still looking at was loading time, which people were saying, for me, it's like this, it's that. Certain people have good loading time, certain people still have bad loading time. Overall, I think it's an improvement, but it's like a minor improvement. It's kind of like, I would call it an incremental improvement over the original Oxygen, which at this point is fine because they're going into version 4.0, and that's better than nothing. So it's good to have incremental improvements where it improves one of the most frustrating things about Oxygen, which has always been the interface for me. The next thing on this list was actually Bricks. Bricks just recently came out with the Loop Builder, and I shouldn't say just recently because it came out in January 27th, so once again, pretty late. But the Loop Builder, the Query Loop Builder, I thought that this was excellent. This has already been in Oxygen for quite some time, and I'm pretty happy with the way that Bricks did it after reading through it and looking at how they provided it. It's pretty cool. It gives you, Bricks is definitely, it's stepping up its game. It's becoming one of my more favorite builders to like play around with and use. Like I said, it's weird. It's got the power of Oxygen in some cases, but not fully because it's not fully fleshed out yet. But it also has the convenience of like Brizy, which has always been something that Oxygen's always lacked in. It's hard to get a user into. If you just throw someone into Oxygen, they're going to spend weeks, if not months, trying to figure out how it works. And Bricks has been one of these builders where it doesn't take that long to figure it out. It actually is very intuitive, and I like that about the developer and about the stuff that's going on with Bricks. They're also very responsive, which has been really, really nice. And finally on our list is the fact that Brizy has made some changes to the cloud. I think at one point we saw that there was a marketing, there's like either WooCommerce coming for the cloud or it hasn't been released yet. I was surprised because Brizy's moving at a very slow pace. The cloud log, which was more what I was looking at, there's almost nothing on it since January. I mean, it's been really, let me see when the last time something new came out. I guess it had pop-ups in December. It had some pop-up designs, some design layouts, but really no new features. You know, you've got some of this, but I wouldn't even call that a new feature, to be quite honest with you. Layout packs. They've kind of been holding back a lot. They haven't had any new features in quite some time. And I think that I saw something just recently that said they were going to be releasing like the WooCommerce for the cloud. I think when that comes out, it's going to make Brizy Cloud very, very, it's going to make it very interesting. A lot more than what I would say for Elementor, because Elementor is just, it's not interesting to me at all. I don't think there's anything about it that I like. I would rather control my own website and have control over everything than you take and give me some kind of crap that I have to use. It's almost like you buying a car and then saying, oh, well, you can only go to one repair shop. And that's the only repair shop you can go to. And Brizy Cloud to some extent has the same thing, but you can kind of look past Brizy Cloud because you get the ability to basically you get unlimited sites on domains of your choice. And, you know, I mean, it's just the way that it's done is better, in my personal opinion. It's just better. And it's going to go up. It's going to go up soon to $4.99. I think that's a fair price because, once again, they're just giving you more options, unlimited visits and storage. I mean, all of that is better, in my personal opinion, than Elementor, and it's also only $39 per month, whereas Elementor's $99 a year. It is. So it's cheaper in the long run, but you're stuck with one website. And that kind of sucks because business people really like to have more than one website in most cases. So it's a little bit weird that they're doing it that way, but whatever. It is what it is. I still think that, to me, Brizy Cloud is decent. Even though they've had some issues every now and then, I still thought, and to this day, I still pay for it. They've got a decent integration. If you wanted to take and build a bunch of websites on Brizy Cloud, you could. And the beauty is, if you build it on Brizy Cloud, one of the things I've always liked about Brizy Cloud is if you have a customer that says, hey, look, I want to kind of break off from this and go my separate way from you, you can go, here you go, here's the WordPress files, because you can convert the cloud and cloud vice versa. They can go back and forth. That's a unique option that you don't get with this. You can't just convert out of this. You're stuck with it, even though it is WordPress. I guess there's some way you can convert out of it, but let's be honest, all you're really doing is converting out the basic stuff that's in there anyway. So it's, they're giving you limited plugins and limited everything else. Anyway, I know this is late, but in my humble opinion, there hasn't been any interesting news. I guess Bricks and Oxygen being the most interesting news. Elementor, less so with the cloud. I'm not shocked at this at all. It's interesting. I'm going to start talking about Gutenberg because Gutenberg's making some plays, but they've got issues with that too, and that is going to be coming up in another video. There's some things I've been noticing with Gutenberg that I'm not liking, and I'm really, really hoping that eventually we're going to get to the place where Gutenberg is a real contender for these page builders. But for right now, page builders are killing it, hands down. They've got way more options. Oxygen and even its lower stages, for being out as long as it is still, like, I think, the king under Elementor, really. Because when you look at charts and graphs, more people go to Oxygen than they do Elementor. And they're well, I shouldn't say more people. There's more love for Oxygen than Elementor. There's not a lot of people fighting for Elementor anymore. There's a lot more people fighting for Oxygen. So Oxygen's kind of the underdog out of the pack. And who knows, in a couple of years, maybe that turns into Bricks, and maybe Bricks becomes the underdog once it's got more stuff under its belt. It's going to just all depend on that, and all depend on what happens between now and then. So I will see you guys next time. I hope you like this kind of interview. What's your thoughts on the builders? What do you think? Are these like good additions? Are these slow? I feel like everything's slow right now. I feel like most of the builders have just been really, really slow lately. There hasn't been a whole lot of news with them. There hasn't been anything that's coming out that's earth-shattering. And we're just kind of like sitting here twiddling our thumbs waiting for news when these were kind of coming out at breakneck speeds in the beginning. Now they're kind of slowing down and taking their time, which is both good and bad. But I'm interested to hear your thoughts. Share your comments down below, and I will see you guys next time.